Um, I would like to also thank and commend our administrator Ludo and the finance team and all of the departments that came in and had to present their budgets to us, and understanding that we were faced with a $50 million gap, and everyone rolling up their sleeves and being able to come back to us with a budget that does not sacrifice the taxpayers of Hamilton County. Um, we were able to close the $50 million gap, but fully fund safety. We were able to close the $50 million gap, but still invest in our youth. We were able to close the $50 million gap and still invest in jobs and family services, the safety net of our county. We were able to close the $50 million gap and still have a healthy reserve above the number that we said. We wanted 15%, we're up at 16. We were able to close the $50 million gap and still invest in community economic development in municipalities that have been neglected for decades until the past few budgets that we've had. We were able to close the $50 million gap and still invest and have a sustainable model for our mobile services called the 513 Relief Bus that helped over 30,000 people already. We were able to close the $50 million gap and still keep the promise of the 30% property tax rollback to the homeowners that were promised this in 1997. And we were able to grant it to them twice in the last 4 years. We were able to close the $50 million gap and still be creative to utilize the interest earnings funding that we benefited from and reinvest those dollars into projects to move the county forward, whether it is Sundance, that we're positively thinking that we've got a really good chance, or whether it's the women's soccer, which I propose that not only just having the women's soccer for the national people to come, but how do we connect it to an amateur sports piece so that the little girls' soccers and more high school soccer teams and volleyball teams and basketball teams and get more scholarships. We got the best athletes in the world, and tap into the 90 plus $1 million industry called amateur sports. We've got an opportunity. We were able to close the $50 million gap and invest over $2 million for veterans. This time last year, veterans were packed in here. They were very disappointed in Veterans Services Commission. We were hands off. We did what they told us to do. But this time we stood with the veterans, and we were able to last year have in the budget a Veterans Appreciation Day that came from here, and I was happy to initiate that idea, but it wasn't just an idea, it had an ROI. 3,000 veterans were helped. We were at Great American Ballpark. We finally took the community days that they told us we could have in 1997, and we finally utilized them for the community. And 3,000 veterans, and we partnered with Veteran Services and disability veterans, and I mean, it was great. We had every department from the clerk's office to the veterans court. It was amazing. It was free, and we were helping veterans on the spot. Now, in this budget, we're going with $2 million, but I want to be clear, the budget was not the only problem. It wasn't just the budget. It was what was happening over there at the Veteran Services. So I don't want to just come here and we just giving them a budget. That's not the answer. We want to be helping some veterans. And the reports, we want reports. We weren't getting reports. We now got reports we saw they were only helping 300 and 500 veterans. So we're not just here to give you money and then you run off and say you independent. And then when it's a problem, here come the I team over here. We're talking about a real partnership. And so I wanted to make it clear in Mr. Ludo in our budget. I want to thank him for the language and thank my colleagues for agreeing to the language that in this 2,200,000 is earmarked to have that event again, because we know that event worked. We know 3,000 veterans got helped, and we want to continue our partnership. I don't plan to be hands off, and then I don't know what you're doing over there, and then here come the I team want to ask me, what did y'all do with the money? Nobody's getting helped. So I hope that the money is one step, but more importantly, I'm looking for a partnership. And we had the ability to put 6 people on the board where we would have the majority. But in the interest of partnership, we said we'll just do 3. So I don't want to go back to the relationship we had before for the last 200 years. I want to go to the relationship we just had where we were partnering and we know it worked. And veterans, I can't go anywhere without getting stopped by veterans who said, my God, we finally getting something done in Hamilton County. So I want to be very transparent about that. And I hope that Anson is respected in the meetings and that this board continues to be involved, because I see this as Hamilton County's veteran appreciation in partnership with the board and the Veteran Services Commission. So I wanted to get that on writing and on the video so you know exactly what my intentions was. The money wasn't the problem. The problem was we didn't have partnership, we had no communication, and veterans were not getting helped. So we're gonna put the money up, but we're expecting that event, if I don't know nothing else, I can at least see 3,000, 5,000 veterans on that particular day. In Hamilton County, we deserve to have that day for our veterans. In addition, we closed the $50 million gap and never sacrificed the people of Hamilton County. And it's tough a lot of times when budgets get tight. The first people to get cut are the people. But I'm very proud and thankful that our board has stood strong. We closed the $50 million gap, but we still are investing in affordable housing. This economy is tricky right now. We don't know what to expect or what's ahead. And I just believe that we put a budget in place that allows us to help sustain, grow, and move our county forward. It's very important that our county people can afford to live, work, retire, start a business, expand a business in our county. And so I'm very happy to support this budget and thank everybody that worked on it and participated. We're able to keep a lot of the initiatives that we have. We're able to keep the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame going because that's coming out of restricted funds, no general fund dollars, no home dollars. That's why we invest in tourism. I support the large event grants and the small one, but large event grants, what I'm looking for is room nights, heads, and beds, because it pays for itself. And a lot of the ones that we supported over the years have brought in over $10 million in hotel revenue that we get, tax dollars, reinvested. So we're putting in 1 million and getting 10 or more back. So we want to keep these things going. And those are the things that I've been able to help pay for Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame, which now has 86,000 visitors for free that have come down there. So again, happy to support this budget. We've been going in the right direction. We had to make some cuts, but we didn't cut the people of Hamilton County. So happy to support this, and with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve by leaves number 5, 4, 5, and 6.
Second.
Commissioner Reece.
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse.
Yes.
Commissioner Summer-Duke.
Yes.
I'd like to also add, if possible, I want to thank our staffs, the commission staffs, our